BBN, what's going on? This is the Loyal BBN Fan Show. Thank you for joining in. So we had a conversation, or we all listened to a phone call that Coach Pope took yesterday or earlier today, this time or whatever. The phone call that he took, and I think it was good for everybody. We all wanted to hear from our coach. We all wanted to kind of get a little bit of insight as far as what he was doing, what's going on behind the scenes, how things are just coming together and forming to create this team. And I think the few minutes that we had to listen to him, I think it was awesome, and I think it did a lot for all of us. Just sometimes it's just good to hear from your leader. It makes it makes a big difference. So in today's episode, I'm going to just talk briefly about some of the things that he talked about that for me kind of stood out that I think is important to me. So I'll be talking about the how the coaches are just gelling together, the recruitment of how they what they're doing about that, the games and what the possibility of what they may be playing next year, and one of the most important things is NIL. So let's just jump right in this straight off the bat. For me, the thing that kind of caught my attention was is just him, Coach Pope, talking about how the coaches are in the room putting their minds together and how much work these guys are putting together. Particularly, he spoke about Coach Fugger and Coach Hart and how those guys just bring such energy to the to meetings and how they just tend to just gel together so fast. Now, I don't particularly know what their history is, if they have any history, and Coach Fugler and Coach Hart. I don't know their history. I don't know if they've known each other for several years or whatever. But for me to bring in the coaches and those guys are gelling that fast. See, I want you guys to keep in mind about something. We always talk about we want players to come here, and then once we get players here, can the players gel together? Can they play together? So why shouldn't we feel the same way about our coaches coming in? Shouldn't they also be the same way? Shouldn't we also want our coaches to be able to gel together? Now, I understand we live in a world today where everybody don't get along, and we just got to find a way to just get along. I guess you can say. I guess they say, what's the saying? Can we agree to disagree? But when you have a group of guys that can come together, especially in the coaching staff, because this is exactly where it starts at right here. And if you can have coaches that can come together and bring energy and just gel, it's almost like, wow, you was thinking that, I was thinking that. And from what I got from the interview is no ideal is too small, and nothing's off the table. If you have an ideal, let's all jointly talk about it, and let's see if it's something that is just urgent, or can we maybe put this in the middle, or if it's something that just maybe we get to it if we get to it. And I think the energy that those guys are bringing and the ideals that they're forming and how they're doing everything, I think is working to the favor of the Kentucky program as a whole. And I'm very excited about these guys just coming together and just gelling. Once again, we talk about can kids come in and can they play for the name on the front of the jersey? Well, we want that for the coaches too. Can they coach for the name on the front of the jersey? Can they get along and can they gel for the sake of the Kentucky program? And I don't think they're just getting in here and just learning to tolerate each other. I think they genuinely have a liking for each other, and that goes a long way. When you can come to work and work for people or work with people that you really enjoy, that makes a huge difference in the world. So I'm really happy about how he spoke so highly of the guys, how he was not afraid to single out that heart. He didn't mention Alvin Brooks and he didn't mention Fox too much. But as far as just mention the two guys who bring such energy to the group, to me, that's awesome. That a head coach can go and do that and just continue to just be transparency about what's going on behind the scenes. Because with so much going on with the new era being built here at Kentucky, we all just look. We're holding on to just any little piece of information, something that just can continue just to keep us motivated, keep us excited, and just keep us moving towards the path of Kentucky getting back to being the program that we know that they're supposed to be. And I think Coach Pope and his staff is moving in that direction to putting things together. So kudos to him for that. Thanks for that, for putting that information out there. Recruitment. it's no secret that a lot of guys who are going to the NBA or putting their name in the NBA drive is will not remain in the drive when it's all said and done. And I like how look, this is just showing his IQ of college basketball. I want to go all in with recruitment. I want to go all in with getting guys in here. But I also understand as a coach that not everybody who goes to get the evaluation will stay in the drive. And because of that, I know that I need to go and get a few more guys to fill my roster. But I'm also not unaware that I got to leave a couple of spots open now. How many spots is that? He didn't mention. I don't know how many spots that is. That could be two. That could be three spots. I don't. That can only be one spot. I don't know that. But the fact is, when these guys are going into their planning sessions and they're saying we got to recruit, and just to hear that he has, I think it's 29 people, 29 different personnel or 29 transfer guys that he's looking at. That means that he's not his scope is wide, but it's small, and he's making sure that everybody is being thoroughly evaluated in a timely manner, but not going so fast that maybe you miss something that maybe okay we don't want to bring this into our system because because we just failed to look a little bit deeper into maybe what a recruit or what a transfer guy is really all about. So I like how he's doing this, how the coaches are doing their homework and how they're doing this methodically and not just rushing into it just because they have to. Now, I get it. There's a few players that you do just have to go all in on. There's a few players that like a Butler that you just have to get on a plane and you have to go see them. Or there's a few players that you just have to make that phone call to and you got to just understand that hey, these guys are real ballers. We already know what they can do. There's no need to sit around and wonder if this is a person that we should contact or not. We're going to go after them aggressively and show them that they are a priority for us. And if anything else, we saw that with Butler, how they handled that and how because of how aggressive they was, that they didn't wait, that they acted. That says a lot about our coaching staff, and they understand what it's going to take to get the transfer portal guys, to get the recruits and everything. Like I said before in my show, this is all about they want to win this year. They're not putting together a team just to stay above 500. They're not putting together a team who, well, you know what I'm saying, well, let's see if we can just be a little competitive. No, I feel like personally, these guys are trying to hit a home run in year one. No doubt about it. These guys are trying to hit a home run in year one. And I think the team that these guys are orchestrating, these guys are putting together, I think that this is definitely a major big thing. And it's really, really big that these guys are really into that. And it shows how smart they are and how they are calculating every single move that they make. And it's not an impulse move, but it's something that they can see that can bring success to the Kentucky Wildcat um, program right now. And as a fan base, that is exactly what we want because we're tired of being a team or a university now that teams want to laugh at and teams want to make fun of. They, as Coach Pope mentioned, they understand the task at hand. They understand the mission, and they're going after that by being aggressive and making sure that they're doing their due diligently when they're actually looking up these transfer guys and making the best of it. So to me, that spoke a lot to me as well too. Next, the ball games. We all want to know what games we're going to play, and I know they're getting ready to have a meeting, as he said, about all that. This is where Coach Fox comes into play. He mentioned him specifically about all of this that's going on. So this is where he comes into play, and this is where his expertise and this is where his strong point. See, this is about taking a puzzle and seeing how you can put these pieces together and knowing exactly what piece I need to be able to get this done. And he went out and got somebody with a lot of experience in doing this in Coach Fox. And I really think that he's going to nail it because Coach Pope understands at Kentucky, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best. And I think having that reunion with not a union, but playing Rick Pitino, I think that is something that the fan base wants. People want to see Rick Pitino come back into Rupp Arena, and they want to see that ball game. So as Coach Pope, he understands how important this is to the fan base, and he wants to make sure that we're having these quality games. We having games that we know that we can fill the Rupp Arena up with, and we understand that, hey, we as Kentucky, we don't back away from playing hard teams. We're going to go after the aggressive schedules, and we're going to play the best of the best so we can see who we are, and also not just to play the best of the best to see who we are, but we want to be battle tested come March. We want to start early, and we want to play hard games all year long. Are we going to take some bruises? Absolutely, we're going to take some bruises. I think all teams is, I don't think any team is going to go undefeated. I just think they're not. So we he wants to build a schedule is that we can see who we are as a team. We want other recruits to say, come to Kentucky because we're going to play the best. We're going to put you on TV. We're going to set you up for the opportunity to go to the next level because we're going to play the best teams. And Kentucky basketball always matters, and it's always going to be on TV. So come to Kentucky because it's going to be a winning combination for you and for us, and everyone's going to win in this situation, which rolls me into the NIL. And I'm even trying to understand the NIL and how. But people ask, how can they contribute and how can they make a difference? So whether you agree with the NIL, whether you like the NIL, at this particular point, it really doesn't matter. Really, kind of what you really like or what you don't. The NIL is here, and as Mark Pope specifically mentioned, NIL is that's kind of the backbone of what we're trying to do. And we don't have, he mentioned, that we got some big donors, but we're not the other team who has all these big time donors. We know we don't have a FedEx in town. We don't have all of this right here. So in the sense, we got something that other fan bases don't have. We have the biggest, and people can talk to me about this all day long if they want to. We got the biggest fan base in college sports, and that's the Kentucky Wildcats. And because of that, that's a way to actually give, which is I had the name of it, and I should have wrote that down, man. It's the blue NIL that you can possibly do. So in this video, if you said to yourself, how can I contribute? How can I how can I do my part as a true fan? I will put the link in this video down below. So after you actually hit subscribe, if you like the video, and you hit like if you like the video, look in the description of this video, and there will be a link in it that you will be able to give. Now, here's the thing: don't feel like that you have to give like the Crafts. Don't feel like that you got to give like the Joneses. The thing of it is to remember is every little thing helps and every little thing matters. And I'm not getting paid by these guys. I'm not. Nobody told me to promote this. This is just me looking out there and me thinking about what it's going to. Because I mean, this is a competitive field, and as I said, it doesn't matter how you feel about the NIL. The NIL is here to stay, regardless of what you feel. So if you want to just do a part, and if you understand that the NIL is here, and if you understand that we just got to have that big pot of money so we can go get certain players, then if you want to donate and donate in your way, in the sense of if you can only give $1, then give $1. It's about everybody doing what they can. Some people's going to be able to give $5,000. Some people might be able to give $10. You just go ahead and you just give exactly what you know that you can give, and at the end of the day, you know that you did your part in making sure that we have funds set aside for these recruits to come here. And sometimes we wait on the big people to go give all the money, but it's up to us too as well to be able to help out and give as well too. And this feels strange because I'm not good at like talking about giving money or donating or stuff like that. It's really uneasy for me, but I understand the magnitude of the NIL, and I understand what it's going to take for us to be able to lure some of the big guys in. So if you want to give, make sure that you look at the link down below, and then you can click on it and you can give in whatever you feel free, whatever you see in your heart to be able to give, to contribute, and just do your part of whatever that may be. So we just got to continue to just, once again, just do our part. Coach Pope is just, he's out there doing his thing. The recruitment, he understands, got to leave these spots open. The games, I think it's going to be exciting. I don't think they're going to go out there and just schedule any type of games. I think they're going to put us in a position to play some good competitions. Is what we, as fan base, that's kind of what we've been wanting. Can we get the good games? Can we get the good teams early in the year? Look at this schedule. Oh, it's just a cupcake schedule. Oh, well, we got to play this. Now, I know we got beat by some of those cupcake schedules, and I get that. But still, I still want to go out and play the best on the highest stage of college basketball, and that's playing the top blue bloods out there. And just the NIL. If you can give, if you can, please do. If you can't, don't feel bad. Just do what you can. And let's just make this NIL a success, and let's stay competitive with other teams out there. Because with the Big Blue Nation and with the support, we already know what they can do when everybody steps up and kind of does their part. So go Cats. Let's make this a success.